Well, hello everyone. It's Benjamin Newton, and I'm here today with Connor. Um, so yeah, thank you for joining me. It's quite short
Course.
notice, but I
Hmm.
thought it's worth connecting with other kind of self-improvement guys because we're few and far between.
Yeah. No, I appreciate you having me on here. It's a big opportunity and a pleasure. I'm just glad to get to be on the show.
Thank you. So yeah, just do you wanna start by telling me kind of your age and what your life kind of looked like before self-improvement?
100%. So I'm currently 17 now. And for those that are like unaware, my name's Connor. I run a self-improvement YouTube channel. And basically, before self-improvement, I was just kind of like, your average guy who's not in self-improvement. I wasn't very happy. I was depressed, doing bad habits every day. I didn't go to the gym. I was insecure. I was just all these bad problems were building up and building up, and I didn't know what the answer was. And then one day, as I'm sure like many other people, Hamza just appeared on my YouTube recommended with his bathrobe and his Jeffrey and Adonis and all these things. And he showed me a different way of life that I hadn't seen before at that point. And it looked so appealing, you know what I mean? Like it was
Yeah,
so different
yeah.
to what I was living now and all the problems that I had. And I realized that I needed to change. I needed to be different. And that was probably, I'd say, summer last year. And ever since then, I've been on good habits. I've been more consistent with the gym. I started this YouTube channel. I've started all these good habits, and my life's just gotten so much better.
Nice. Yeah, that is really close to my story. So yeah, I'm
Yeah.
17 as well.
Oh, really? Wow, I
Yeah,
didn't
yeah,
know that.
yeah. I mean, I'm turning 18 next week, but
No,
yeah,
right.
I'm
No,
17 as well. I think for a lot of people it started the same way with seeing a Hamza video on the recommended.
100%.
And you're right
Yeah.
about it kind of gives you a sense of hope or ambition that you haven't really felt before. Like it makes you feel so empowered when you
Yeah.
first discover everything because it's like a whole world you haven't
Mhm.
seen before. And yeah, it's probably um summer or early last year as well. I discovered
Yeah.
self-improvement.
Wow.
Um, but yeah, I think there's a very general lifestyle that a lot of people our age have. You can like, very vividly picture it. So what does your life look like now then? What's been the big changes?
It's been the big changes. It's a good question. I think, well, I was always into physical activity. I always exercised or played sport. Like I played football for 6 years. And then I actually started the gym before self-improvement, which is not like most other people. But
Yeah,
the problem was the gym was like, it was all I had. I did every other bad habit. I was addicted to TikTok. I played video games a lot. My diet was trash. My sleep was terrible. I did all these other bad things, but I went to the gym, so I thought I was fine. You know what I mean?
yeah,
Like I
yeah, yeah.
thought because I do this one good thing, I don't have to worry about everything else. But I still wasn't happy in life. And that's when I had to realize there's so much more other aspects of life that I'm just neglecting. Like my mindfulness was terrible. I literally couldn't focus, bro. I'm not messing. Like if you
Yeah,
were
yeah, yeah.
talking, my TikTok brain would be too distracted thinking about like my favorite video game or whatever girl I had a crush on. Do you know what I mean, bro? Like I
Yeah,
literally
yeah.
just couldn't focus at all. But now I just try to like I don't know. I think dopamine detoxing has been such a good habit that I've picked up. Like trying to avoid my phone as much as possible, being outdoors as much as possible, uh, which YouTube has really helped me take my mind off. And having my own personal business where I can have full creativity, can spend hours on it at a time, has really helped me just serve as a distraction kind of for all the bad habits and just to do something purposeful that I actually enjoy.
Nice. Yeah, I mean I started the gym before
Mm.
self-improvement, but it wasn't like a proper like gym
Yeah,
routine or anything. It was just kind of
I get what you mean.
um but yeah, I mean I've done physical activity all my life as well. I've been playing football since I was like 5 and
Oh, you
basketball.
played too? Five. Wow.
Something like
Big
that.
nerd.
Yeah, yeah. I joined my first team at 6 or 7 or something. Um
Yeah,
but yeah, I think yeah. Um, you once you kind of see videos like people like Hamza and there's a few
100%.
other creators, like you realize how big like the self-improvement, I guess
Oh, there's so
it's
much
like
in
a
it. Yeah.
lifestyle. It's literally a lifestyle. You have to dedicate your life to it. Yeah,
100%.
yeah, yeah. So I mean, how do you stay dedicated? Like, do you have any friends or family that are also trying to improve themselves, or have you influenced anyone else to improve their life?
That's a great question. See, it's difficult because I don't know if I'd say necessarily self-improvement, but I have a lot of friends that do a lot of good habits, if you know what I
Yeah,
mean. But I'm not sure if they're fully aware of the actual like
yeah, yeah,
genre or niche, whatever you want to say, of self-improvement. Like, for example, all my friends go gym, like basically every single one of them. We all go together, like sometimes. So it's, it's a good environment where we can motivate each other. And additionally, like not in the real world, but also online, I've made so many friends through launching my own channel and, being a part of subreddits or Discord servers, all these things, like even like this podcast now, reaching out with people on YouTube. So I think that's been very beneficial in helping me like reach other people. But as for in the real world, I don't know. Like my family, they all know about my channel and they're very supportive. I've been lucky to have such a good background. But I don't know if I'd say they're on self-improvement necessarily, but they're certainly supportive, which definitely helps.
yeah, yeah. It feels. I mean, it feels such like a dichotomy, I guess, in my life where it's like everything online and I follow online is like self-improvement, but then everything in real life is obviously everyone just living their
It's
normal life.
hard. Yeah.
Um, but I have
Mhm.
a few friends, it's like basically most of them do like a few of the good habits I do, but there's not like
Yeah,
one person that does all of them. So I got a couple that
exactly.
do meditation, one that like
Mhm.
doesn't have social media, and then all basically all of them go to the gym as well. So
Yeah,
it's like everyone does kind of the good habits, but yeah, no
I
one's
get
like
you.
fully dedicated. Um,
Yeah.
yeah, so I mean, how do you feel with like being out about the ordinary? Like how do you
Mm.
like being, because obviously it's a bold kind of statement, I guess at the end of the day. It's a
Yeah.
very unusual kind of way of living. Um,
Hmm.
yeah,
It
so
definitely is.
have people like criticized you or said you're being weird or you just enjoy yourself or something like that?
If people, not in person, thankfully, because the people that I actually like talk to and I'm close to have been very supportive of it. Online, throughout my videos, I've had a few bad comments, mostly good. There's obviously always going to be good or bad, but not really. I think most of it's inside. Like we all think in our heads that, oh, what are people going to say if I do this? What are they going to say if I do that? When in reality, it's they don't really care. We're all so focused on ourselves. We don't really have time to think about other people.
Yeah,
And we know that's true because we're spending all this time worrying about what these other people think. But that's only because we care what they think because we care about ourselves. But they don't care about us. You know what I mean?
yeah,
So I would spend all this time worrying, before, because I wanted to be a YouTuber for a long time. And before I started, I was like, oh, but what if my friends see this video? What if they think I'm being weird? What if they think it's cringy? Whatever. What if, like, I'm talking to someone and this comes up and it ruins the friendship? When in reality, it's like, bro, no one cares. Literally, no one cares at all. And if that's like your one limiting factor stopping you from doing anything, like, I'm not just limiting this to YouTube, it could be like any life venture you want to take. If the one limiting factor is you're worried what people are going to think about you or what someone will say, just who cares? Who
definitely,
actually cares? It
definitely.
means nothing at all, bro. Like, I think it's a quote from Alex Hormozy, and this is so powerful. He's talking about, I seen it on a podcast with him and Chris Williamson, where he was talking about dealing with criticism and what people say. And it's like, bro, literally none of them are going to be at your funeral. Why would
Yeah,
you care? You're not
yeah,
going to meet these people. Why would I care what some random kid across the world who's never going to meet me in their life cares about me or like what your friend's going to say about you chasing your dreams? Just do it because you'll
yeah,
have so much fun in the journey and you're spending all your time thinking about that person that doesn't think about you anyway. So I just think that's a defeatist attitude to have. And obviously, we're all prone to it. We're only human. You know what I mean? There's days where I have that as well, where the self doubt kicks in, where I'm like, I'm not sure about this. But I think you just need to overcome it and realize that people don't care about you as much as you think they do.
yeah, yeah. I think definitely the feeling of regret of not doing something is so much worse than like the temporary
Yeah.
pain of doing it.
Mhm.
And I that's interesting you say that because I think I was like the opposite in a way because I haven't had many people criticize me. Some people go like, oh, why have you like why is all your phone in black and white or why do you get up at like
I do
half
the same
six?
thing. Yeah, great.
Yeah,
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 yeah.
yeah.
People don't
But no,
care.
no, yeah, no one's like criticizing me. But I think
Yeah.
I had the opposite thing where I was too pushy on people to try and get
Oh,
them to
okay.
kind of like
Yeah.
try and do the same things as me. Which I've definitely learned it's not the way to do it. So I think
No.
it's definitely you need to be like bad enough in life where you need self-improvement. Otherwise,
100%.
this is something that took me like months to learn. But if your life's good enough, um, then you're never gonna need it basically.
Yeah. Hmm.
That's why like I'm kind of grateful for things that's happened. I mean, I haven't had like a tragic life or anything. It's just I got to a point where I was kind of
Exactly.
fed up, and then um, then like I found like a new ambition. But yeah, I've definitely tried to put it on friends that are happy with their life, and that's I don't. At the end of the day, if they're happy, and they don't want to change, then I
Yeah.
can't make them. Yeah, there's a quote by Marcus
Yeah.
Aurelius. Do you know he's like yeah, like a
Yeah. Yeah.
old yeah. Um
Philosophy.
yeah,
Hmm.
I love like listening to Stoic like quotes and things. And there's one where it's like be strict with
Totally.
yourself but
Yeah.
tolerant with others. And it's all just about it's called self-discipline for a reason. It's all just control yourself. And if you control your mind, then basically you have control of everything else, like your actions and everything. And yeah.
So true. Yeah. It's amazing, man. I just want to touch on something you said just there, back there. It was like talking about how you kind of struggle to get your friends on self-improvement. And I agree with that so much. I feel like it needs to be something you want. Do you know what I mean? Like you
Yep,
can't
definitely.
that's why I find it so hard to
Definitely.
try and motivate people to get onto other things. Because like think about the low points that me and you or the person watching this video were at before we started on self-improvement, which you kind of touched on with your point as well. That's why we did it in the first place because we were so down bad with all these bad habits. And we're like, no, this is such a low point. We have to change. You can't force someone else to do that. They weren't necessarily in the same example as you. And it kind of goes back to that like age old quote, the way people say, comfort's a killer. Like imagine if our lives were slightly better, like just a little bit.
Yeah.
We wouldn't really feel the need to have made that change at that point in our life. Do you know what I mean? And maybe we would have never ended up in this position and
Yeah.
following this journey. So yeah, like you, I'd like to say like I'm very grateful for the down periods I had in my life. Obviously, it wasn't terrible or anything. I'm
Yeah.
still
Yeah. Yeah.
very
Same. Same.
grateful. But to feel the way I felt, so I could motivate myself to actually change, and now I'm in the position I'm in. So I'm very grateful.
100%. Yeah. Yeah. It's definitely something I learned from, and but that's why I think like my intention with the videos is never to convince someone to be on self improvement. It's to be there when someone decides
Yeah.
to be. If they search something up, then that's like for something fun
Hmm.
to discover. But yeah, going
Yeah.
onto your channel and stuff. I mean, what made you want to create
Mm.
content? You said that you wanted to make a YouTube channel all your life, but when was the point you
Yeah.
decided like to make it on self improvement or like self development?
Mhm. It's a great question. I'm trying to pinpoint the exact moment in my mind because when I said I always wanted to be a YouTuber, obviously when you're a kid, the dream's not I want to be Hamza, I want to be whatever. It was like,
Yeah,
let me make some gaming videos, let me play
yeah, yeah,
Minecraft. You know what I'm saying? I think I actually tried that when I was 10. I had like some gaming channel or something, which obviously I deleted all the videos. But yeah, I just because I was kind of an introverted kid growing up, so I'd
Mm,
spend so much time watching YouTube videos. I had all my favorite creators, and it was something I always wanted to do. I love the creative aspect, being your own boss, being able to make whatever content you would like, and being able to entertain people all across the world or educate them, just provide them with some form of value. It appealed to me so much. So self-improvement in particular, I'm trying to think of when that exactly came to me. I think it was definitely a Hamza video anyway. I think it might have been one of the longer ones where he was talking about online businesses
yeah,
and ways you can make money. I remember being on holidays and I'd made three shorts before this, but like they all got about 20 views. No one had seen them. I
yeah,
just kind of made them for fun. And I was on holidays and I had a revelation, so an epiphany, something just struck me. This time where we're all supposed to be relaxing, it's fun in the sun. I couldn't. I was actually so annoyed. I just wanted to do something. It's like you're
yeah,
supposed to sit in front of a pool for hours a day. Like I literally couldn't do it. I wanted something to do. And it was in that moment I realized I have to do something with my life. I need to do more. Like, yes, I'm going to the gym, I'm following these bad habits, but I'm not giving any value. I haven't made anything. So that's after during that holiday, I just realized how strongly I wanted to make content and how badly I wanted to do. I'd be listening to
yeah,
all these Hamza videos, these Iman Gaji videos, all these self-improvement videos and thinking, I can do that. If they did it, so can I. Look at the point he started off at. All these
yeah,
self-improvement YouTubers. Like I think Hamza was living on government welfare for a few years. You know what I mean?
yeah.
Or
I
not a
think
few years.
Eman was as well. Yeah,
Exactly. They all started at a low point, like similar or even worse to where I was then. So I was like, if they started then and they're at the point they're at now. If I put in the same or even more amount of work, then obviously I can get to their place. So that's just what made me start. And I think I started around this summer, about 3, 4 months ago. And yeah, I've loved it
Wow.
ever since.
Wow. Yeah, you've
Yeah,
really grown. So why
I
do you
know.
still make the content then? Like, is it just for the satisfaction of like seeing people um like grow from it? Is it seeing like the comments and people appreciating your advice and things?
I wouldn't say that's all. Obviously, that plays a factor, and like seeing the results of your content is always going to be a good part, no matter what any creator says. But I think I just love the process. Do you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
brainstorming a good video idea, researching it, writing the script, getting to record, be on camera, act it out, give the video life, and then editing it, and just being able to share my message or my thoughts on some topic to people around the world. And like the numbers don't even really matter that much to me. Like I remember my
No.
first few videos, uploading them, getting 0 views, or like I get like my first view. Sorry, I get like my first view. Sorry, this is the birth. Yeah, subscriber or whatever, and I'd be so ecstatic. It was
Yeah.
like a little dopamine hit. I was so happy getting just 1 subscriber or 2 subscriber a day. So I don't think the numbers actually matter that much. It's just
No.
something about it. It just feels purposeful. It's like it cleanses my mind, and it just feels so enjoyable throughout the creation process of a video. And obviously, yeah, some parts aren't fun. Like editing's never that fun, but you know what I mean. Once the process is over, and I can just watch my video and I get to see my creation, it's
Yeah.
just something I take pride in, and it's very fun.
Yeah. Well, that's really interesting. I think we very have different approaches to our YouTubes because I mean for me, like my whole life outside of self-improvement is filming and like making short
Oh
films
wow,
and things. So
yeah,
like my whole other time is spent like editing things and planning. So
yeah,
this channel is kind of like a side project for me because it's like self-improvement.
really, wow,
Yeah, yeah.
interesting. Okay.
It's like my
Mm.
I would say hobby, but it's obviously like it's more than that.
Yeah,
But yeah,
fun.
so I
Mm.
like uploading kind of videos that just like me on my phone, just like a couple minute videos.
Yeah,
Obviously I appreciate like all the work that you put into yours. But I can't do any more editing or any more like
I get you.
yeah.
Yeah,
But I think for me, like the most satisfaction I get is not the numbers, is seeing like a comment from one person. Like the video can have like
yeah.
one view, but if someone
Mhm.
comments saying like I really agree with your tip. Here's another way that I found out how to do this, and I'm learning from them, and I know that they've got information from that video. Then that really makes me feel good.
100%.
There's also this another. I read it in a book. I can't remember which one, but it said like, if you preach someone to something, the preacher like learns more from it, or something like that. So
Mm.
it's saying like, if you teach someone, they won't believe more in your thing necessarily, but you'll believe more
Yeah.
in what you're saying, if that makes sense.
Wow. I get you. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
I've never heard that before. That's
Um,
actually yeah.
it's quite
Yeah.
interesting because I think I kind of agree. Like if um, I mean, it's the same with my friends. If I tell my friends I'm doing this habit, or they ask me like how should I start my morning, or how should I improve myself, and I tell them what I'm doing,
Yeah.
that also makes me like more accountable for what I'm doing, and makes me feel like more driven and
Yeah.
stuff to do that. And the same if I'm upload a video telling someone advice, that kind of cements it as um, more in my mind and makes me again feel more driven and accountable to do that. But yeah, I think just the satisfaction of knowing people, basically knowing that I'm making a positive change in someone's life, because the amount of like creators and people around me that have had that kind of impact on me uh,
Yeah.
is so many. So if I can just do that for one person, then
Exactly.
that's a good
So
thing.
inspiring. Yeah.
Um, so I mean, what kind of apps and services do you use? Not just like for your channel, but for your everyday like
Mm.
management of your life, I guess.
Right.
Like like Medito or Notion or uh,
Yeah.
Google Calendar. Yeah, how do you kind of structure your life?
It's a great question. How do I structure my life? Well, obviously, YouTube Studio, the essentials. I'm a YouTuber, blah blah blah. I have a few editing software apps as well and stuff like
Yeah,
that. But as for my day-to-day life, I always wake up to a sleep cycle alarm because I found that's the best app to track my sleep. So I use Sleep Cycle daily. I do have Medito. I try to do some daily meditation as well. Usually just like 10 to 15 minutes in the morning to keep my mind sharp and off of things.
yeah,
As for other apps, I try not to use my phone too much, so I wouldn't have much. Like I have WhatsApp for immediate
Yeah.
friends and family. I do have some social media. I do have Snapchat installed for just for my friends. Like I know I preach not to use social media. I've preached the badness of apps like TikTok and short form content and Instagram, which I don't use. But I just use this as like 10, 15 minutes a day, message my friends, whatever, because they're not on any of the other apps.
Yeah.
I also have Discord for connecting with other people, networking, etc. But apart from that, like it's nothing really else to be honest. I'll check my
No.
emails every once in a while, but yeah, no, I don't really use many apps to be fair. I just because I feel like with my phone, it's such an enemy. Like it's even when
Yeah.
I'm trying to do something productive, I feel there's like these thoughts in the back of my brain trying to drag me away, and I find myself like mindlessly scrolling to other apps. So if I can find a way to do something more productive that doesn't involve my phone, like say instead of doing something mindful on my phone, I'll just go for a walk or go to the gym instead. Do you know what I mean? Because I
Yeah.
don't sometimes I can't trust myself enough on my phone, so I just need to strip away from it as much as possible. And that's
Yeah.
what I've been doing over the past few months.
Yeah. Nice. I mean, there's so much to unpack there. But
I
you
know.
said like sleep cycle. I use sleep cycle probably for about a year. Probably like from
Mm,
last summer to this summer. But then I realized that I'm using my phone like straight away in the morning. Which
that's
I
the
really don't
problem.
want to
Yeah.
do. So what
Hmm.
I've just like in the last couple months just turn off my phone like half an hour before bed and spend that time
Yeah.
reading. And then just set an alarm on my like, Amazon Alexa. Uh and then don't check my phone for like the first hour because I really do like the sleep cycle like system like the I don't know what it's actually called but how it like has the window for the alarm.
I get what you mean. Yeah.
Yeah, I really like that. But yeah, I think definitely like with that and how you said you have still have Snapchat and things. I don't have any social
Yeah.
media on my phone. I don't really use any um apart from like
Hmm.
the business ones like the film business on my
Yeah.
computer either. But I think like the problem with things is definitely intentionality versus the app itself. Like if you can use
100%.
a sleep cycle and get all its benefits without like um going on your phone at night or whatever or using it like while you're lying in bed, then 100% go for it. And if you use Snapchat for 10 minutes a day and that's essential to message your friends, then again like go for it. But I know for me like any social media I'll just abuse, like I'll just be
Hmm.
scrolling on there. So
Yeah.
but I think the problem is that the average person, at least with no like training, like I'm sure after a few months of self-control, dopamine detox, they can get there. But
Yeah.
I think for the average person, like everyone gets told to kind of delete social media or
Yeah.
definitely like hide their phone or whatever, because if the phone's beside them, they don't have the self-control to not check it, or they don't have the self-control to only use
Hmm.
Snapchat for 10 minutes. But yeah, that's kind of interesting that you don't use any like uh to-do lists, or do you use any to-do lists? Because you didn't.
Oh, not really.
Yeah,
Well,
that's
I know that's weird, like in the whole self-improvement space, like everyone uses all
yeah,
these checklist apps or whatever. What I usually do is I'll write my goals down the night before of like what I want to get accomplished in the day. Like obviously that's like I can adapt that based on what I've got
yeah,
planned the next day or college, work, etc. But I'll just write down like what I want to do. Say if it's like record video, go to the gym, whatever. Then I'll wake up, obviously do all my first habits first, like make my bed, shower, get sunlight, etc. And then I'll look at that and I'll just follow that. And like it's not really a checklist kind of thing. Like I don't have any apps for it, which
yeah,
maybe I should look into that because I know it's very common and maybe that will help me
yeah,
more. But again, it just relates to that like idea of like I just don't want to be on my phone. Like I want to avoid using my phone as much as possible because I know how much of my life I've already wasted on it. And like I'm sure you've all seen the statistics. It's like if you spend it, I can't remember what the number is, but it's like if you spend a certain amount of
yeah,
hours on your
yeah.
phone, 6 or 8 or something, it's like 10, 20 years of your life.
Yeah, I saw
It's just
your video. Like,
crazy to
it's
me.
like, yeah, you like made a short saying like average person spends 8 hours a day on their
Yeah.
phone, and I can't remember
Mhm.
what it was, but it was definitely a lot of years of your life.
Yeah.
Um,
Bro, it's terrifying. And ever since like
yeah,
I've seen stats like that, it freaks me the fuck out. And I'm like, I need to avoid my phone as much as possible. So
yeah,
maybe I'll look into the future, but it's not really something I've struggled with enough now to really
no,
consider it.
yeah, fair enough. Yeah, it's interesting to see how everyone has different approaches because
Exactly, yeah.
I use um Notion for I just started in the
Yeah.
last month or whatever, but
Mm.
basically my to-do list system is just have three things and like no more than three. So I every day I put like, well, the night before I put 3 things and I have to accomplish them, or at least try to, because I feel like if you have too many, it just gets overwhelming. But
Yeah.
yeah, for me, like the
Mhm.
benefits of having it at college or wherever I need to be and be able to do work kind of anywhere or see what my tasks are, that outweighs the negatives. But yeah, it's definitely interesting to see how everyone else kind of does it. Um, but yeah, I mean, how do you like for your, I guess, brand, like your YouTube kind of channel? Do you have social media for that, or is that just the YouTube?
I've tried. I have a link tree in my bio, which links to a Twitter account and also a Discord community, but I'm not very active with them at all. And you'll notice I didn't mention Twitter when I was listing through all my apps because I actually currently have it deleted. Because I find with apps, I'll try to cope with it and say like I'm using it in a productive manner. Say Twitter, for example, because I actually ran my own Twitter account. I was trying to convince myself that because I tweeted
Yeah,
every once in a while, it was productive. But I'd find myself spending 20, 30 minutes scrolling through football Twitter, and I was like, wait a minute, this goes against all my brand. This goes against
yeah,
everything I'm saying. This is not productive at all. And I was trying to
yeah,
justify 2 to 3 tweets every week or something for all the time I was wasting. And then I just had to realize, no, it's not worth it at all. I got rid of it. So I wouldn't really say there's much else to my brand, if that's what you want to call it, except for
yeah,
my
yeah,
YouTube channel. I have a Discord server which isn't too active. It hasn't got many members. It was kind of semi-active when I first launched it, not really. But I think my primary focus right now is just improving the quality of my content, growing my audience further, spreading my message to more people, and just trying to provide the most beneficial, high quality content I can.
yeah, definitely. Because my next question was going to be like, if you have social media for your brand, as you is kind of called, I guess, like how
Yeah,
does that compete against like your morals and like your stance
exactly. It's
against
such a
social
good thing
media?
the way. Yeah.
Because I've spoken to a few people, and like Timothy, the guy who made the Superior Students
Yeah.
Discord.
Yeah, I
Yeah, yeah,
know. Mhm.
yeah. He said like he constantly downloads and deletes social media because that
Mhm.
obviously helps his brand, but obviously goes against his brand as well, essentially.
Exactly. Yeah.
Um,
Mhm.
yeah, I mean, I've kind of got lucky in the situation because like for my, I don't use my personal ones anymore. I don't have anything for like my self-improvement YouTube channel, but for my film and stuff,
Yeah.
I've got a friend that I pay like £5 a week just to literally go on there and like tweet or post once a day.
Yeah.
It's literally you go on there for 5 minutes and post something. So it's not like it's hard work, but I know if I went on there, um, like have I then like download it on my phone and then spend an hour a day. So
Yeah.
it's not worth it. And I'm
Mhm.
getting like enough money, and £5 a week is definitely worth like the 10
Yeah.
hours a week I'd spend on it.
Mhm.
Okay, so the next couple of questions are kind of deeper, I guess. I'm not
Right.
deeper, just yeah, I guess deeper. Like what's your purpose, do you think? Like what's your um like ambitions?
That is kind of deep. What are my ambitions? Obviously, with this channel, I just want to grow it as much as possible and make YouTube my job, like my life, because I've never found so much purpose and presence, mindfulness, everything in this channel that I found with anything else. It's just, I enjoy it so much. And I feel like it's kind of hard to say considering we're so young. Like 17, I could say it's my purpose. And then in 5 years, I might think, I never want
Yeah,
to do this YouTube thing again. Something else has caught my attention. And there are days where I question, whether it is or isn't my purpose. But just, I try to live in the moment now because, tomorrow's never guaranteed. And right now in my mind, what I think is this is what I want to do. And I don't see that changing anytime soon. So is it my purpose? I feel like it's early to say, and I might be naive in saying so, but hopefully, and I'm going to
yeah.
keep pursuing it.
I mean, maybe not the YouTube, but like 100%. If you're that dedicated, then giving advice to people and um
Yeah.
that you're definitely passionate about it. So
Hmm.
I think that could definitely be your purpose. Um yeah, I mean for me it'd just be kind of filmmaking and stuff. Like, that's my whole
Yeah.
life outside, and that's I'm doing that at university next year. So
Hmm.
yeah, definitely filmmaking, and I was about to say making films, so that's the same thing. Um but yeah, I mean that also kind of gets in the way with self-improvement a bit, because obviously like if I'm
Yeah.
watching a film every couple of days, that's 2 hours. And
Exactly.
it's always just like a clash between self-improvement and everything else you want to do in your life. I feel like
Oh
it's a
yeah.
big balance.
So
But
hard.
just kind of have to choose your priorities. And yeah, I feel like if filmmaking is my purpose, then that kind of justifies watching a film every once in a while. Um, but yeah, you're definitely passionate about self-improvement. And it's
Yeah.
like I said before, it's so weird to see how many people online like are in the self-improvement community and making
Yeah.
videos. And I love just seeing like people like 14, 15. Like there's so many young
Mm,
guys that are in
I
it. And I'm
know.
like, where are they? I've never like
Exactly.
I
You look
it's
outside the real world, you don't see any, and then online, there's
no,
like thousands, thousands. It's crazy, bro.
yeah. But you're definitely right about like um maybe it's too early to tell what our purpose is because we're so young.
Yeah,
And it's just crazy how differently not differently, like how drastically we change. Just kind of
100%.
like
Yeah.
everyone. I feel definitely on self-improvement. But I make a video every year. Like for the last few years I've been doing it. I make like
Mm,
a 15, 20 minute video to myself, just kind of saying
yeah,
how I am in life and like what's been going on. And it's just
yeah.
like little things. Like I watched last year's, just seeing like the way I talk and like my
Mm,
style and it's
yeah,
just my mindset on things are so different. And it's just crazy seeing how far you come, because it's like the analogy
definitely.
of like the carpet when there's like a sofa or something on top of it, and then you lift it up
Right.
and it's the colors like completely different. But
Oh,
because it's
yeah.
been I could see like you're
Mhm.
confused where that was going, but
I was so confused. I was like, what's even about the carpet and the sofa? But that
yeah,
actually does
but
make sense.
you
Yeah,
don't like you don't notice how much darker the carpet's got until you look.
yeah,
You don't notice how much you're changing or the people are changing until you actually take a moment to look back.
very true. Hmm.
Yeah. I mean, to get even more deeper, what is
Okay.
the thing you're kind of most afraid of at the moment? Or are you most like worried about happening?
Wow. Most afraid of. Do we mean like short term, long term, or just in general? What's my biggest fear?
Whatever, just whatever you want to say.
Just whatever. Okay. Ooh, this is a deep question. I'm gonna think about this for a while. Okay, I think I have an answer. This is gonna sound really weird, but I seen something the other day. By any chance, are you familiar with the YouTuber Boogie2988? No?
Yes.
You know he's doing
Yes.
self-improvement. Okay, yeah, I know. It
Yeah,
sounds
yeah,
weird,
yeah.
but there was a documentary made about him recently, and like it details like everything in his life, how he was. I'll clarify for those at home who don't know. Basically, he was this big YouTuber who had like 4 million subscribers. He was fat and like I'm not trying to slag him, but that was
Yeah,
his
yeah,
whole.
yeah.
You
That
know
was
what I
like
mean?
his brand. Yeah.
Yeah, that was his claim to fame. He was a fat guy who made funny videos, but then over time, he found himself in controversies. He made bad decisions, and he ended up losing a lot of money. And if you watch the documentary, basically what it says is he's going to be bankrupt in a few months. He's wasted thousands on sex workers and all these video games and arcade machines, and he still never lost the weight. And he's spending like, I believe it was like 7,000 or something between his mortgage and his medicine, and he has to take this big bag of medicine a day to stay healthy and keep in shape because of his bad life decisions earlier. And I know this doesn't sound like self improvement. Don't worry, I'll get there. But the way when I watched that not podcast, sorry, when I watched that documentary, I believe it was either yesterday or the day before. It just kind of made me think about every single time in life I make a bad choice, or I'm lazy, or I don't do what I'm supposed to do. And I can see that spiraling and snowballing up to me getting to the point where I'm like 40, 50, later on in life. And having regrets. And that's something I don't want. I don't want to get to a
No,
latter stage in life and think, what was I doing when I was younger? Why didn't I
no.
exercise? Why didn't I do what I want to do? If I like football, say for example, why didn't I go join a football team? Or if my passion's art, why didn't I start painting pictures? You know what I mean? Whatever it is. I don't want to live with regret or live a life chasing other people's dreams that aren't mine and then get to a certain point and think, the fuck was I doing? What was it all for? And that's kind of what that, I know it's a very weird resemblance, but that's
Yeah,
kind of
yeah.
what I seen in that documentary. And it's probably why it came to mind straight away because it's so fresh in my mind having just watched it. But it just made me think, because that's always been one of my biggest fears. I don't like living with regret. And ever since I
No.
realized that, probably a year or two ago, or whenever I started self improvement, I started to live for me and make the life
Yeah.
choices I actually want to make. And that's why my life's gotten so much better. And I
Yeah.
just want to continue like that and not live with any regrets.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know if it's the same for you, but I think definitely like last couple of years on self-improvement. Like if I make a bad choice, or not necessarily bad. Like if I choose to eat like a junk food, or
Yeah.
skip the gym or something, I'm so like conscious of it that yeah, it's probably not healthy, but I'm so aware
Hmm.
of the choices. I don't know how I could spiral into something um like that bad. Like I'm sure you're probably the same as well. I'm sure that's like an
Yeah.
irrational kind of fear because yeah, if you're anything like me, I know you wouldn't let yourself um like I don't know why. I just kind of feel like obliged to kind of do the good choice and habits now. Like
Yeah.
even if no one's watching or if no one's
Exactly.
like I just to myself. Uh yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think my kind of biggest fear is I guess kind of similar. It's basically nothing comes of like the progress I've made.
Mm.
Like no like evidence. Like say I've spent like ages with this film business and in 5 years I have to kill it off because it's made like no money. Or
Mm.
if I
Right.
spend all this time in the gym and you can't even notice the difference.
Yeah.
It just seems like so I've got rid of all my social life and dedicated my life to self-improvement
Hmm.
for nothing. I just missed out on all these opportunities.
Yeah.
Do you ever think about that?
I
So
do.
I saw your video on loneliness as well. I think
Yeah.
it's kind of related. It's like kind of balancing your
Hmm.
friends and is self-improvement really worth it? Like sometimes you get them
Yeah.
doubts.
No, it definitely is tough at times. Sometimes them like voices can creep in your head thinking, like kind of what you touched on, like think about how much time I spent on this. I've been going gym for a year. I don't even have a six pack, I've barely changed or whatever. And it can be tough, but you just like I feel like our expectations are so skewed and so high that like we can't even realize the progress we made. Like say,
No,
let's take NoFap as the example. If you were fapping 5 times a day and say now you got like 20 days in and you relapse on your 20th day, you shouldn't
no,
go crazy beating yourself up because of that. Because what you're thinking in your mind is, oh no, I've relapsed, I failed. But think
yeah,
about where you were this time last year when you were doing it 5 times a day, or say if you never went to the gym before and you've been going for a year and there's only that slight improvement, that's still that more, sorry, that's still more improvement than you could have had if you never started. And
yeah,
like it is tough, and obviously because we all want to be our best versions of ourselves, that's the
yeah.
one down point. We're always going to strive for the best, and sometimes it can be hard to appreciate what you've already got and what you've already done. But that's why I think such mindful habits like gratitude, journaling, meditation, going on walks, exercise, if that's therapeutic for some people, are very beneficial because they can kind of
Yeah.
just help you take your mind off it and realize how far you've come. Think about the progress you've made already. So
I
that's
think like some of the problem as well is that like effects from meditation and those kind of like maybe
yeah.
journaling as well. It's not so obvious. Like
Mm.
unless you're like super focused your attention, I guess, or
Yeah.
focus. Like you don't really see the effects from say meditation or the mental
Yeah.
health effects from exercise and
Mm.
things. So it's kind of hard to track your progress. Um,
True. True.
Especially for other people, like other people can't really tell, especially like if they're new to meeting you, they can't tell like the progress you've had from meditation or even like the gym, obviously, because didn't see you before. um
Exactly.
but
Yeah.
I think it's just to do with like your overall mood and mindset. Like
Mm.
if that's better, then I think that's an improvement at the end of the
Exactly.
day. And I think yeah, I'm really glad I started these kind of videos to myself every year, because looking
Yeah.
back like 3 years ago, um I'm just so different. And that's why
Yeah.
when I think like to the future of like 5 years, it's like what's the point? Like I'm gonna be so
Mm.
different. Like just my mindset and the way I think about things is so different from last year. So in 5 years,
Yeah.
especially like going through university and everything, I think it's pointless thinking about what I'm gonna be like because I can't like my whole attitude to life is gonna be totally different.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
I know what you're saying, man. And like the point you made on actually about do you do every year where you record
Yeah, yeah,
a video for yourself? That's actually such a good thing to do. I tried that last year, and this is kind of when I kickstarted my self-improvement journey. I think it was, it's somewhere in my Snapchat memories, but it was around August. No, not August, sorry, September, October time last year, and it was a bad video. Like I was just kind of complaining about life. I was like, I don't know what I'm doing in school. I don't know what I want to do when I grow up, when I graduate, because I'm in college now. I was like,
Yeah.
college scares me. I don't know what I want to do in college. I'm not happy with my physique at the moment. Like I just kind of listed all these problems. And it's similar to what you were saying earlier. Like even just the way I talk, my presence, everything, my style, my look, I just looked so more anxious, like on edge. And when I look at myself now, I can see how calm and relaxed I am. And I know with certain habits, it can be hard to notice like your progress, especially in like smaller time frames. Like you're not going to notice how much you've improved in meditation in a week. Do you know what I mean? Like it just doesn't
Yeah.
work like that. But your ideology and what you do with recording a video every year, I think that's so powerful because in a year's time, so much can change. So if for the viewers watching this at home, do that right now. Go
Yeah.
record a video of
Yeah.
yourself. If you're not happy with your life, shout all your problems out on screen. Only you're going to see it. And then when you get the notification in a year's time that you made that video, you can watch it again. And if you've done the hard work, then believe me, you'll notice such a big difference, as I have, and I'm sure you have too.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I've got a video called, I think it's called like The Importance of Documenting Your Life or How to Document Your Life, which I kind of
Yeah,
explain everything in there. But I think if you're really struggling to kind of stay consistent with doing it every year, just do it on like your birthday or a kind of a special day
true.
because that you're gonna remember. Like I've got a folder on my phone for all the videos
Yeah,
I've recorded, and somehow I just
yeah.
remember the takes. I've done it a few times now.
That's
Um,
so cool. Yeah, I need to do that
but
more often.
yeah,
Only done it
it's just
once.
so interesting. Like it literally like the way I speak, the words I use
100%.
is
Yeah.
totally different, and like
Hmm.
a photo just you can't really capture that.
True, true. I still think they're good too. Like, say, I don't
Oh
know,
yeah,
mine immediately
definitely.
went to, the gym, like progress pictures.
Yeah, definitely.
Like when you first, because I know when people first start, they might feel insecure. They don't want to take pictures. Bro, take the fucking pictures. I don't know who needs to hear this. I missed out on so many more bad pictures when my physique was like terrible
Yeah,
because I just didn't want to take the pictures. You don't want to see yourself then, but like that just shows you how far you've come. So whenever
definitely.
you're feeling down about your physique, you can go look at your pictures, or if you want to implement this new video ideology, you can do that as well. But no, I think it's great. I need to do it again for this
Yeah.
year because 100% it's so beneficial.
Yeah, I think these videos are kind of like progress pictures for your mind,
True,
like for
true.
your mental health.
Hmm.
But yeah, I've got like it wasn't even like a progress picture. It's just like in like um I don't know when like 2017 or 2018 or something. So like
Yeah,
how many that's like 5, 6 years ago.
long time.
So you can like yeah, I got like a random burst of inspiration to start exercise and stuff. It only
Yeah.
lasted a couple of days, but I took like a progress picture then,
Mm.
and it's just like it's not even the same. Like I don't even look the same.
Yeah. No, I know
Um,
what you mean.
yeah,
Hmm.
like I wasn't fat, but I'm like kind of that. I was like skinny fat kind of
Skinny fat, that's what I was too. Yeah, it's so
yeah.
bad. Hmm.
But it's just crazy to look at it. You
100%.
like you couldn't probably even recognize me. Um,
That just shows how
yeah,
far you've come. Exactly.
definitely. Um, and also like, what's your? So you said editing earlier. Obviously, you edit all these
Oh,
videos
yeah.
just for like my own kind of enjoyment. Like, what? How did you start that? Did you just learn it because of the YouTube channel, or how did that kind of come about?
Basically, yeah. Well, I mean, I wouldn't classify myself as a very like top tier editor. I've had editors work on my channel before, and that's like if you notice there's a video on my channel where the editing is like ridiculously good in comparison to other videos, it wasn't me. I
Oh,
didn't do
okay.
them once, but
Yeah.
my most recent one I've done, like I know the basics. I know how to use B-roll. I can put in a few keyframes. I know how to set up the audio, but it's just I don't know. It's not what I'm into. It's not my
No.
thing. Like
No.
it's only something I've really had to pick up for the YouTube channel because I want to grow it as much as I can. But yeah, it's definitely the part of the process. Like I love the scripting. I love the thinking of ideas. I love recording, being on camera. I definitely say editing is the part I find, the most frustration in because I'm just very bad at it. But of course, it's all part of the process, and I still do it anyway, and I still do enjoy it. Like to some
Yeah.
extent, I'm not trying to sound ungrateful or anything, but definitely, yeah, I would say it's my least favorite part of the process.
Yeah. Yeah. That wasn't important to like the interview or anything. I just wanted to know. I mean, I've just got a couple more questions, but yeah, I think with editing, like I really hate it at times. Like I got into basically filmmaking through editing,
Yeah,
like multiple like YouTube channels. Um, but yeah,
mm,
I think if you're passionate about it, then it's
yeah,
really fun. At least for me, because I'm like an okay editor, and I kind of enjoy it if I'm passionate about it. But if I've edited so many podcasts where it's just like one layer of audio, you just have to cut it up, and that's so like
yeah.
annoying. Um,
Mm.
but yeah, so what are your kind of goals with the channel then? What's your
Mm,
where do you
goals
want
for
to
the
take
channel.
it?
Well, as far as I can take it, like in the real short term, I suppose just like monetization, so it can be more of a constant thing, and I can upgrade the quality of my content, maybe get a phone that doesn't die during a podcast. Just improve. I definitely need a camera anyway. Maybe look
Yeah,
towards outsourcing to a video editor, as we mentioned before. That's not my favorite part of the job. Just all these things, but I don't really know because, like, as we touched on earlier, I don't care too much about the numbers. It's more so personal. Like, I just want to be able to provide the best videos that I possibly can. And I know in turn that should bring results, but even if it doesn't matter as much to me. As
no,
long as my message can be spread to as many people as possible and can help as many people as possible, similar to like people that were in the same position as I was back when I was struggling.
yeah,
That's all that
yeah,
matters. That's what I think is the most powerful if they can see my message. So I'd say that's the main goal of my content, to just continually grow as a content creator. Of course, make more mistakes, go through the trials and tribulations, and just get to a point where I can continually make high quality videos daily, perhaps, as my upload schedule right now is not consistent at all. So I'd like
yeah,
to work on that more, work on making better videos, of course, upgrade the quality of the content, and just help as much people as possible sharing my message and my videos, and just try to be as educational as possible.
yeah. Nice. Yeah, yeah, definitely. I mean, I think like the reason like I messaged you asking if you
Yeah.
want to come on this again, like it wasn't for any kind of game for my channel or anything.
Mm.
I'm just kind of making the channel just to kind of meet
Yeah.
interested in similar people. And
Hmm.
yeah, it's really enjoyable. So I guess that's kind of like the goal for me, just to meet as many interesting and hardworking people as I can.
Yeah.
Um, I've got a quick question though. So
Of course.
how kind of the thing with social media, how you like want to have it for your brand or um,
Right.
but you don't want to like clash with your
Yeah.
um, how do you feel about because obviously you post YouTube shorts and things. Do you kind of feel
Yeah.
because yeah, because it's kind of like a gray area. At least like for me, because I want to, but at the same time, I feel like I'm kind of encouraging bad habits. Then, like, what's your approach
Gotcha.
on that? Yeah, I'm not trying
It
to
definitely
criticize
is
you.
a
I'm just wondering like what your
no, no,
take
don't
is.
worry. I know, I know. It definitely is a gray area in this community, but like I feel like you can take that perspective, and if someone doesn't want to upload YouTube Shorts, 100% I understand. You don't have to feel obliged to. But I think there's another way you can look at it. Like, think about ourselves when we were in that bad position. Would we have
Mm.
clicked on a video that was just a picture of us like talking about self-improvement habits? Probably not. Where would we have been? On YouTube Shorts scrolling, or on TikTok scrolling, or on Instagram scrolling, or perhaps watching even worse stuff than that, which we won't touch on this. But the point I'm trying to make is you got to make the content clickable for the people that need it the most. Or at least that's
Yeah,
the way I see it. And I feel
yeah,
like YouTube Shorts can be a vehicle for that if you want it to be. Of course, I do understand the other side as well, but that's the way I seen it when I was first making my YouTube Shorts. And it did help me, like, originally, because when I first started off, I made numerous YouTube Shorts. That's how I made my first videos. I didn't make my first video, I think, until like I had about 10 shorts uploaded, perhaps, in and around there. Like, I heavily focused on YouTube Shorts at the start. And yes, of course, there is a negative connotation on it. You don't want to be watching short form content. It is terrible. I think I've made videos on my channel about this before as well. I have a video called The Dark Truth about short form content, and I have one specifically criticizing TikTok. So I know it's highly hypocritical for me to also post YouTube shorts, but I think it can be a vehicle to help people, because some people, they just won't click on it. Do you know what I mean? I feel like the
yeah,
shorts is how you get them in, and
yeah,
hopefully, with what you tell them in that short, you're able to give them some information that can change their lives potentially, or just give
yeah.
them that information that they need to stop scrolling. Like, I've made about 5 shorts, I'd say, just telling people stop scrolling, which probably isn't great for algorithm or the shorts views, but if it helps even one person that sees that short and they stop scrolling, then I know it's been successful.
Nice. Yeah. When I kind of expected you were gonna say that, I just wanted to hear like what
Ah,
your kind of mindset is. Um,
yeah,
yeah, I mean, I'm not well, first of all, I'm very against short form content, not like the
same.
way you're going about it, but in the traditional kind of way. And I'm
I
currently
know what
making
you
like
mean,
a
100%.
documentary, like all about like the data and stuff of
Hmm.
short form content. on like children and developing
Yeah,
brains. Like I found like 16% of 3 to 4 year olds are watching TikTok, which is crazy.
it's
That
terrible.
is
It's so
yeah.
bad.
Um, but yeah, I think that's definitely a good point. Like you need to attract those kind of people. And that's what
Yeah.
attracted them. Like there was, do you know the YouTuber
Hmm.
I Am Lucid?
Who, sorry?
I Am Lucid.
No, he was,
Lucid.
maybe to see. Does he make self-improvement videos?
Not self-improvement like
Okay.
necessarily. It's really hard to
Mm,
kind of describe his content. But
right.
he does really good work, like working with like kind of lawmakers in America to ban like porn for under 18-year-olds and things like that. He's um
Oh, right. Okay.
yeah. But he basically compared like he has like an Instagram and stuff to kind of spread his message.
Yeah.
And he
Mm,
compared it. There was a story of like an Islamic like I don't like a heavily um what's the right word? Like heavily involved, heavily like very
right.
traditional, like strongly believing. Like, do you know like
Oh, okay.
um
I
like
know. I know what
um
you mean. Yeah.
kind of like
They're
Muslim
very
guy.
devout in their faith. Yeah.
Yeah, that's that devout. That's the word I'm looking for.
Okay. Yeah.
And he went into a strip club. Um,
Oh.
and he no, it's a good ending. And he basically
Okay.
after like it was shut, and he spoke to like these 3 strippers apparently for like a few hours, and he
Yeah.
basically managed to convince them all to Islam. And he
Wow.
basically said that he makes short form content and
Mm,
Instagram content because you
yeah.
have to go into the dark to convince people to come to the light, essentially.
Wow.
So you like you need to go to those people that need it to bring them to kind of like I guess like the right path. That sounds too
Yeah.
pretentious, but like like trying to spread a good message essentially. And yeah, I
100%.
think there's nothing wrong with what you're doing because I know like, but I know so many people um that just make kind of
That's not again.
self-improvement videos. Yeah, so yeah, he converts them all to Islam, and it's about basically you have to go into the dark to convince people
Yeah.
to bring them into the light. And that's what like short form content, like your kind of mindset on short form
Mm,
content is. It's like going into where people maybe not need help or necessarily want help, but like basically kind of spreading a good message.
exactly.
Um,
Yeah.
it's kind of spread like a good light in a dark place. But yeah, I think there's nothing wrong with what you're doing, especially like with the short form content. I don't think there's anything dishonorable about it. Because obviously loads of people make self-improvement videos and aren't loyal to it, or make
Mm,
like
yeah.
videos against short form
Mm,
content but do it just to make money, like or
yeah.
make short form content um just to make money, even though it might be like a good message. They're just trying to use
Exactly.
monetary gain.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean that's kind of like everything I had really.
No way.
That's all my
Mhm.
questions and stuff. Do you have any long-term goals or short-term goals? I think we've kind of been over everything, but if there's anything
Long-term goal.
you want to mention.
It's just to stay on track what I'm doing, stay happy, keep improving my content, try to help as much people as possible. I think, well, one short-term goal. I need to give the viewers something. I need to think of something. Maybe read more. I feel like I don't read enough. I've got a
Yeah.
lot of books on my wish list, like The 4 Hour Work Week is
Oh, I've
one that
read
I
that.
wanted to read
That's
for
really good.
such a long time. Have you read it?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, I need to read that book, man. That's like the number one of my priorities, like my book list. I need to read
Yeah.
that book so bad. Yeah,
Oh,
I'd
yeah.
love to read it.
Yeah, I mean, I've listened to a lot of audiobooks just 'cause I feel like
Bro.
it's very convenient when you're just
Mm,
doing like chores you have to do. Um
yeah,
and yeah, a lot of libraries I discovered have like an online kind of service or app where you can rent
yeah,
out well, borrow free books or audiobooks. So that's what I've been doing to get loads of audiobooks to
yeah.
borrow them. But yeah, I think for me, um I think I don't know if it's long term or short term, but a few months ago I kind of fell in love with minimalism. and like that whole kind
Wait,
of
what? Sorry.
minimalism.
Oh, sorry, I didn't hear. I could have.
No,
Okay,
that's
minimalist.
fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, I read a couple books on it, and it really kind of influenced me, and
Mm,
I realized how unnecessary most of the things we have are.
yeah.
And I love like if you go away on holiday and you pack like one suitcase, you can live
Yeah.
out of it for like a few weeks.
Hmm.
Um, so I guess it's kind of long term, it's kind of like a lifestyle change, but
Hmm.
learn to be less attached to objects
Yeah.
and be more attached to people, I guess.
Definitely.
Um,
Mhm.
yeah, I guess short term, I don't know. It's just like
It's
I
tough,
guess
isn't it? Yeah, it's
yeah,
hard.
because like you feel like you're doing all the good things, so it's just
You don't know
I
what else
think
to add on. I
I
know.
think
It's
diet
hard.
actually. I think diet.
Diet. Ooh, that's a good one, actually. Yeah.
Yeah. It's just like if someone offers me something and they've like I wouldn't choose it out myself, but if someone offers me,
Yeah.
that's where I feel bad because I'm like, oh, you've gone through all the effort.
Exactly.
I
Yeah.
can't say no. I think that's probably the hardest part.
Definitely.
But yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I think that's it. So we made
Wow.
it after a few
Just
technical
about. We
issues,
got
but
there in the end. Yeah. Three technical difficulties, but finally we
yeah.
got here.
Well, thank you for coming on. That was a really
It's been a
nice
pleasure.
talk,
What a
I think.
blast.
Yeah,
Hmm. Thank you very much, man, for this
that's
opportunity.
okay. Um, well, yeah, enjoy the rest of your evening and hopefully I'll stay in contact with you.
Hopefully. Likewise. Take care, man. I really enjoyed
Yeah,
that.
you too, bro. See
See
you.
you later.